Thank you. Well, welcome, Zoomies and Roomies. I think we'll start on our backs today. So you can lay back with your knees bent, your back on the floor. Do a little combination of yoga and Pilates today. We're just kind of moving back and forth between the two, focusing on our core muscles. But first, just take a minute to arrive. Let your shoulders drop back toward the mat. Let your belly be soft. Allow your breath to be natural. And just notice anything you're bringing to class today. We all always have a lot going on in our lives, a lot going on in the world. And I invite you today to just be here now. Just be present. And by that, I mean notice. Notice how things are landing in your body. See if you can notice what muscles are working and which are resting. See if you can notice your breath as we move through class today. So let's just start by noticing the breath. Take a second to notice where you feel your breath most easily in your body. That could be up at your chest, especially if you're just coming in. It could be down towards your belly if you've been hanging out, relaxing for a bit. You might feel your breath more in your outer rib cage, spreading out to the sides or even to the back. Or maybe you feel the tickle of air entering and leaving your nose. But wherever you most feel your breath, just spend a moment with it. Just notice. Be present with it. And each in breath is a receiving, each out breath is a letting go. With each in breath, see if you can imagine the feeling of becoming a little bit lighter, floating up off the mat. And with each out breath, become a little heavier, settle into the floor. And then turn your attention to your spine. Start with the tailbone. Notice the tailbone close to the floor, the sacrum on the floor. Pelvis is kind of firmly on the floor. You might notice a little space between your low back and the floor. Rib cage part of the back is pretty firmly on the floor. Again, check in with your shoulders. I noticed I was holding mine up. Drop yours back. Little space under the neck. We're just going to play with the curves of our spines for a little bit here. So on your next exhale, draw your low back a little closer to the floor. And I like to say, imagine there's a grape under your low back and you're just giving it a little squeeze. You're not squishing it. Release that back to neutral spine. And then on your exhale, low back a little closer to the floor. And release that. So you notice that the pelvis tilts head to toe here. We're letting the pubic bone rise up and then the belly button rise up. And we're making that motion happen with our core muscles, not with our legs. Do a couple more like that. Good. And then bring your fingers to your hips, right up to the top of your hips. And we're going to lift one hip bone and then the other. And notice right away when you do that. Yeah, so our pelvis is rocking side to side. It's super tiny. It's super tiny. You could bring your legs into it and just kind of check in with the motion first, but then see if you can take your legs out of it and make that movement happen just with your core muscles. If the pelvis was a bowl of water, we'd be sloshing the water side to side. Notice the muscles making that happen. Good, and then we're going to get a little complex here. Lift your right hip bone, your pubic bone, your left hip bone, and your belly button. And now if the pelvis was a bowl of water, we'd be sloshing the water all the way around. We're still trying to make that movement happen without the legs helping. Good. And then switch and go the other way, lifting the left hip bone, the pubic bone, right hip bone, belly button. Swirling the water around the other direction. Good. All right, let that go. Come back to neutral spine. Take your fingertips toward the ceiling, and we're going to reach up toward the ceiling and then feel that space between the shoulder blades close as you draw your arms back and maybe give it a little squeeze back there. Inhale, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. 2 more like that. Good. This time, leave your shoulders back. Take your arms up overhead. They do not have to go to the floor, only as far as feels good for your shoulders. And then exhale, arms down to your sides. Inhale up again. Exhale down. And one more like that. Good. And then let's change that. Take them up and then make a snow angel with your arms to the outside. Again, they do not have to touch the floor. Just the range of motion that feels good to your body. On this last one, circle those arms around. Let your head float up off the floor. Maybe it doesn't feel like floating, but imagine your head floating up off the floor. So look at your knees. Reach your fingertips out toward your toes. Take a big breath here. On your exhale, let your body come back to the floor. One more time, we'll take arms up overhead as far as feels good. Exhale, bring them around. Scoop out through your belly. Kind of look down at your knees. Check in with your neck. And drop it down. Good. Take your knees, pull them into your chest. Circle them one direction, little low back massage. And then circle them the other way. All right, come on back to center. We're going to get curious here. Bring your arms to the floor. Take your knees and start to make a sideways figure 8, an infinity sign on the ceiling. Notice what's going on with your hips. Notice that one hip lifts and then the other hip lifts. See if you can make this movement happen with your core muscles. And then notice which direction your legs are going. See if you can switch it. Make your figure 8 go the other way. Good. Come on back to center. Grab your knees. It's not cheating. Take your knees, move them out to the sides, push them away, and draw them back up the middle. So we're making circles. Yep. By circling our legs, our knees away from each other. Good. Switch direction. Push your feet away. Keep your knees together. Then bring them up around the outside. Just warming up our hip sockets a little bit here. Good. Stay here. Grab your right knee, bring it in toward your right armpit. Left leg can be long, resting on the floor, or you could hover it if you want to. Just get a little stretch here. And then straighten that right leg out up to the sky. Yeah, flex your ankle. So pull your toes back towards your face. Might be a little intense on the hamstrings. Totally fine to bend that bottom leg. Drop your heel down toward your butt and then kick your toes up to the sky. So we're flexing on the way down, pointing toes on the way up. Good. One more like that. Keep that leg straight up to the sky. Little Pilates here. Bring your arms back to the ground. Yep. And you can keep your legs hovering too if you want to make it intense. We're going to take that leg and circle it to the outside and up to the center. Yep. And we'll do one more here. The circles don't have to be big, but everything else should be under control. Circle the other way. Go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Take that leg, cross it over your left leg. Take your right hand, give that leg a little help with external rotation, and then take both hands, slide them through, grab your left leg. We'll come into a lying pigeon here. And if you want a little bit more sensation, lean your body just a little bit off to the left, and you're going to feel a little more sensation in your right hip, probably. Good. And then we'll come on back to center. Bring both knees into your chest just for a squeeze. Keep your left knee, take your right leg long on the ground, or if you want to hover it, that's totally fine as well. Good. And then we'll straighten that left leg out toward the sky. Pull your toes back toward your face if that's available today. Drop your heel down, kick your toes up. And we'll do a few of these. Notice if you're holding your breath. Maybe inhale down and exhale up, or the opposite. It doesn't matter. Good. Let's do 2 more. Hold this one at the top. Bring your hands back to the floor. Take that leg and start to make some circles. Again, if you want to hover that lower leg, it's intense. Totally fine. And switch and go the other way. Exhale up. Good. Take your left leg, cross it over your right leg. Maybe take your left hand, give it a little help with external rotation. Take both hands, slide them through, grab your right thigh. Yeah. And if you like a little more sensation, lean just a little bit toward the right. Good. Come on back to center. Bring your shins parallel to the ceiling. Bring your upper body up. Reach your arms long. And we're going to start to pump our arms here, Pilates style. We'll inhale 2, 3, 5, and exhale. Totally fine to put your head down if your neck gets tired. Good. Option to straighten the legs. Option to lower the legs, but only as far as you can go and still control what's going on with your low back. 2 more sets. Good work. Draw your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze, maybe rock a little side to side. We'll be here on our backs just a little bit longer. Keep your right leg. Take your left leg long. We're going to take right hand, put it on the ankle, left hand on the inside of the knee. Yep. And then just switch legs. So the arms switch around. Head can be down or up. See if you can exhale every time a leg is long. One more each side. Good. Go ahead and drop your head back down. Take your feet wide on the mat. Let your knees drop together. We're going to play with this a little bit. Let your knees rock side to side. And you can adjust your feet to a place that's comfortable. Notice how it feels on the hips side to side. Does one side move more easily than the other? Good. We're going to get complicated with this one today. So come back to center. Take your knees over to the left. Turn your head to the right. And then bring your knees back to center. Take your knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. And back to center. Do that once again on either side. Knees left, head right. Back to center. Knees right, head left. Good. Come on back to center. Let's add on one thing. Take your knees over to the right, or to the left, I'm sorry. Turn your head to the right. Turn your left palm to the floor. Right palm's up, that's the one we're looking at. Left palm's down. Bring your knees back to center. Knees to the right. Head to the left. Turn your left palm up or right palm down. It's like a whole body puzzle. Come back to center. Take your knees to the left, head to the right, right palm up, left palm down. And then one more time, rotate everything to the opposite side. Good. Do a few more at your own pace. See if you can do all of those things at once. You could add some breath to this, whatever feels good to you. Good. Let's do one more each side. And then come on back to center. Bring your legs in, shins parallel to the ceiling again. Pull your upper body up, hands to ankles. And we'll inhale, expand the whole body out, exhale around. If it bothers your back at all, keep your feet up high. If you want a little more sensation, take them down low. Good, 2 more. Big inhale to expand. Exhale brings us around. Inhale to expand. Exhale brings us around. Good. Drop your head back to the mat and just shake it out. I'm going to go ahead and turn on one side, and we'll come all the way up to all fours. Good. Come into a neutral spine. Hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips. Without going there, turn on all the muscles that would take you to cat, meaning this Halloween cat thing. Turn on the muscles that would take you there. And then turn the muscles on that would take you to cow, the opposite of that. But don't go there. And then come into a tiny cat and a tiny cow. And just start to work into this slowly, noticing the muscles that are bringing your body to each position. Noticing what breath feels good for the movement. Good. Maybe bring a little organic movement in. You could circle the hips back. You could rock side to side, or anything else that feels good. And I want to mention too that if it bothers your knees to be on them, make sure to fold your mat and give them a little extra padding. Good. Come on back to center. Find your neutral spine again. Float your left arm up in the air and then thread it through. Maybe just the back of your hand comes to the floor. Maybe your arm comes to the floor. Maybe your shoulder and your head come to the floor. The right hand could go to your back. It could reach out in front of you, or it could just stay where it is. Can you breathe here in this twisty place? Good. Unwrap that. Bring your right hand out. Press yourself back up. Reach your left hand up to the sky and then bring it down. Nice. And we'll get the other side. Right arm raises up. We'll thread it through. You decide how far to take it. Option to do whatever you like with your left hand. And then breathe here. Good. Gently unwrap that. Let your right hand float up. And drop it back down. Good. Hands to the mat again. Turn your toes under. We're going to sit back as if we were coming into child's pose, but we can't quite get there with our feet like this. Rock it forward. We'll stretch for the wrists. Rock back. Inhale forward. Good. We're going to change this into a funny flow. So inhale, rock forward. Exhale, lift your hips, send them to the back of the mat like you're going to jump forward. We're not. Inhale back to the mat. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, rock it forward as far as feels good to your wrists. Exhale, hips back. Good. 2 more just like that. Next time you come down, walk your hands out just a little bit. Come into a downward dog. Let your legs walk. Let your hips move. And then float your right or your left leg to the sky, sorry. Let your knee bend and your ankle flex. And you can drop it over the other side. Find a little hip opener here. Take that left leg, swing it all the way through between your hands, or just come up and step into a lunge. You decide. Good. We'll inhale up and then sink it down. And just do a few of those. Good. This one stays down. Take your arms to the front. Option to leave them there. Or leave your left arm there. Take your right hand to the sky and then all the way back. And then let your left hand float up. Nice. Cartwheel down, frame your foot. Step yourself back to a plank just for a breath. Big inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Make your way there slowly. Let your feet walk. Let your hips sway. And then float your right leg up. Let your knee bend and your ankle flex. Find your hip opener on this side if you like it. And we'll swing that leg all the way through or just come to standing and step into a lunge. Good. We'll sink it down. Do that a few times. Good. Send your arms out in front. Leave your right arm there. Left arm comes to the sky. We'll take it behind. Right arm reaches up. Good. Cartwheel down. Frame your front foot. Step your back foot forward. Come all the way up to standing. Arms up. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. You could dive into this with arms to the side if that feels nice. Come to half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And again, we'll add on. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Come all the way up. This time, sit yourself back into chair. Could be a big chair, a medium chair, a tiny chair, your choice. Let your feet walk a little bit. Yeah, just keep it going. Let's bring some arms into this. So we're going to rock them back and forward. Good. Take your left arm back, right arm forward, and just walk it out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. We'll come all the way up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Having right and left problems today. Take up into the side and breathe into your right rib cage. Good. And we'll come back to center. Same thing, other side. Nice and tall. Good. And come on back to center. Take your feet wide. And you can turn sideways on your mat if you like. Turn toes out, heels in. And we'll take a big inhale. We know this one. Get your bear claws. Scratch them down the tree. Yeah. Make sure knees are going out the same direction as your toes. Good. Inhale up. Scratch it down. Notice what muscles engage. Notice if there are any that are relaxed. There might be. Scratch this one down. Stay at the bottom. Let your hands go. You could catch some raindrops here. You could walk your feet. You could come to toes on both sides. Good. Let your arms go. Come all the way up. Turn your toes forward. Forward fold. Just let it go. Hands to thighs or to the mat. You decide. Let your head hang down. Take a couple breaths here. Good. And then we'll walk our fingertips or bring our hands to our knees to just rock a little side to side. And come on back to center. We'll roll all the way up and heel toe in, or however you like to bring your feet together. We'll tree today. So root your right foot down. Bring your left knee up. Okay. We're going to take that leg to the side. Staying right there is totally fine. We're going to bring hands, heart center. Draw your lower abs a little in and a little up. Reach your crown of your head to the sky. And then you decide. You could bring that foot to your lower leg. You could bring it to your upper leg. For some of us, it just naturally goes to the knee. If it's on your lower leg, you can kind of press in. If it's on your knee, just don't press it. You take our arms to the sky. We could come to cactus. All these are optional. You could dance your tree a little bit if you want. You could spread them wide like an oak. Good. Or you could bring them heart center. Good. Bring your knee forward. Let that leg slide back down. And then just sway it out a little bit. Same thing, other side. Noticing how you're breathing. Okay, so we're going to add that on. So root that left foot down. Draw your spine up tall. Engage your lower abs. Turn the right foot out. You decide where it's going. Option to lift it onto the leg. How's the breath? Option to reach the arms. Welcome to cactus. Or be an oak tree. Or dance your oak tree. Nice. Yeah, bring hands heart center and slide that foot back down. Take your arms out in front of you, something different today. Turn your palms out, so thumbs are down. That's pretty awkward, yeah? It's going to get worse for just a second. Take your hands, cross them over each other, and lace your fingers. And then take and turn them right into your body. And just notice how cozy that is. One of those nervous system hacks. Stay here for a few breaths. Good. Unwrap them. Release the hands and just drop them back by your sides and notice. Good. Take your hands behind your back. Place your fingers, draw your shoulders back, lift your heart. You could stay right there, or you could tip this forward. Only go as far as feels good to your shoulders. Good. And we'll inhale all the way back up. Shake it out. Step your feet wide again. And whatever foot is closest to me, or however you can see, turn that foot to the narrow edge of your mat and sink it down a little bit. For the other side, you'll know it, so it won't matter. Sink it down. We're going to take our arms out to the sides. Warrior two. Shrug your shoulders up and drop them down. Just notice your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Good, drop them down. Turn your front palm up, take it to the sky. If you want, you could take that all the way behind your head. You could take your other arm and reach it back. And then take your front elbow to your knee. Take your other hand right across the horizon until you get to the top, and then find a little opening here. Maybe spread your fingers wide and shine that palm out. Good. On your next inhale, come all the way up to Warrior Two again. Reach out in front of you. Let your front leg straighten as you come into triangle. And breathe here. Good. We'll inhale all the way back up. Turn that back foot in. And turn the other way. We know this. So we'll come into Warrior Two. And we'll do those shrugs, shoulders up and down. Just feel your shoulder blades move up and down your back. So the front knee's bent. The back knee also is a little bit bent, just to keep us from locking that knee out. Draw your shoulder blades down. Take your front palm to the sky. If you like, you can wrap it around your head. You could take the other arm behind your back. It's optional. Good. Gently bring that front elbow to your front knee. Other arm comes across the horizon until you get to the top. It opens. Good. Let's inhale all the way back up to Warrior Two. Reach it forward. And then find yourself a triangle. The goal isn't to reach to the ground. The goal is to find a whole lot of space here. Fingertips to fingertips. Good. Inhale all the way back to Warrior Two. Turn your toes forward and forward fold. Let it go. Hands to thighs, hands to floor. Maybe grab the elbows, whatever feels good. You can rock it. Good. And then walk your hands to one narrow edge of the mat. If there's one that's facing me, take it to that one. Step back to a plank. Yeah, fingers spread wide. We're just going to stay here for a couple breaths. On your next exhale, take it down to your belly however you like. Then we'll find some baby cobras here. So just a little inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, upper body down. Good. One more baby cobra. Let's change this a little bit. Lengthen your spine, shine your heart forward, upper body comes up. On your exhale, lower body floats. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, lower body. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, lower body. Bring your arms out in front and start to flutter or just lift alternate arm and leg, your choice. If you're fluttering them, we'll inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then bring your forehead to your hands. Feel the muscles release. Muscles of the glutes, muscles of the low back, muscles of the upper back and shoulders. Just let them rest. And while we're still here on our bellies, let's do one crawling zombie. Put your feet close together. Reach your arms out in front. Make your creepy spider hands. Turn your nose down to the mat. Press down with your feet and then walk your fingers out. Just a big stretch here. Important that the nose is down and we're not looking up. Good. One more breath. And release that. Bring your hands back by your sides. Come up to all fours with a neutral spine to start. And then start with a tiny cat and a tiny cow. So we're just all kinds of back bendy there. Come on back to neutral spine. Take your right leg behind, float it up. Option to lift your left hand. That might be an inch, right? Or it might be all the way out in front. You choose. Yeah, and then you could stay here, or you could draw elbow to knee and replace it. We'll do that 3 times. Nice. On this next one, hold it out. And just pulse, little tiny pulses to the ceiling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your hand back to the mat. Step that leg across and have a look back at it. If you like to come to your elbows on that, that would be fine. And this also works on elbows. Take your leg, swing it out to the side. And then bring it back in. Good. We'll take left leg out, toes to the mat. Float your left leg up. Option to add your right arm. Good. You could stay right there, or you could squeeze elbow to knee 3 times. This last one, we'll hold it out and start to pulse here for 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring your hand back to the mat. We'll step the leg across, have a look back at it, find to come to your elbows. And then take that leg and swing it over to the other side. And come on back to center. Let's come to sitting before we go back to our backs to stretch. Just for a boat. One boat. It's a one boat day. Put your heels on the floor. Lean your body back to where it's a little hard to hold. Bring one leg up. Option to stay there. Or bring both legs up. If you like, you could let go with your arms. If you like, you could straighten your legs. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you could bring your arms up. Good. One more breath. And let that go. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your back ground. And then help your knees back up. Come on back to your back. Let's find one bridge here. You can roll right up into that, or you could roll a few of them to release the back. If you prefer something like plow or shoulder stand, that's fine too. Good. Go ahead and exhale, come back down, shift your hips a little over to the right, let your knees drop to the left. Take your arms wide. If you like to look over your hand, you can do that, your right hand. And then come on back to center. Lift your hips up, move them a little to the left. Let your knees drop to the right. Option to look to the left. Good. Feel free to come back to center. If you need one more big stretch, maybe fingertips to toes or anything else that suits you. Happy baby, knees to chest. Whatever feels good. And then make your way to constructive rest or shavasana, or if you feel inclined to sit up, that's okay too. But wherever you land, take a minute to do a little body scan from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet. Just notice how everything landed today. Notice where you feel your breath most easily in your body. With each in-breath, imagine getting a little lighter. With each out-breath, a little heavier, more held by the earth. And then I want to end today with a poem by Dana Falls. Here, right now, bring your mind to this place and time. Invite it, even if it resists, to sit and witness what it is to be alive. Let there be no ulterior motive in this moment but to be. Rest on the waves of breath and choose to experience all of it. Let thoughts float through and leave again as the mind slowly settles like snow inside a shaken paperweight. This is all there is. Here, right here and now. Start to bring a little gentle movement to your body. That could be wiggling your fingers and toes, taking a couple deep breaths, finding another stretch that your body needs. And then turn on one side and pause there. And then gently make your way to sitting. Yes. May we dwell in safety. May we be happy and healthy. May we be at peace. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Thanks, Zoomies.